Hello and welcome. My name is David Sabat, a Dynamics pre-sales consultant at A&S. Today what I'm going to be doing is walking you through some of the key components around the tool Dynamics 365 for marketing. This is focused on the higher education sector. It's just going to show you some components and some features of the tool that can be used to interact with potential students, alumni, and any contact that you've got in the system. So for those of you that don't know what it is, basically it's a tool for managing marketing communications to prospects, students, alumni, basically anyone that's a contact within your Dynamics 365 system. You can manage a customer journey to interact with those individuals and automate those interactions, and then have some insights into those interactions with individuals as well. So on the right hand side here, I just wanted to quickly summarize kind of where it sits and the key components to this solution. So right at the bottom, or the foundation, you've got the Power Platform. So that's things such as Power BI and Power Apps. Above that, you've got the tool itself. So Dynamics 365 for marketing and Dynamics 365 for sales. The reason sales is in there is because above that, you've got the higher education accelerator by Microsoft, which works with the sales aspect. And then above that at the top, you've got the A&S admissions accelerator. So those two components work seamlessly with the tool Dynamics 365 for marketing and sales. So some of the current challenges that universities are facing, it's that admissions process, the original component that we talked about with the higher education accelerator, and being able to manage those interactions while a potential student is going through that admissions process. You can manage that all seamlessly with Dynamics 365 for marketing and the higher education accelerator, and it's getting that 360 kind of degree view from start to finish, and all those key touch points, and interact with those customers, personalize those interactions to hopefully get them to react to the emails that you're sending out, so they can join events, they can come to university open days, and basically build that relationship from the get-go. So some key touch points that we're going to explore in this brief demo of Dynamics 365 for marketing. We're going to touch a tiny bit on the admissions process and what that does to the contact in terms of updating the contact with a status, whether they're in application status or they're a student or they're alumni, how to engage with those individuals, so how to create kind of segments and what they look like, define and manage your customer journey. So it's all going to be around this kind of automation and what happens at certain stages in terms of sending those emails, managing those events and registrations, and what that looks like within Dynamics 365. And then off the back of that, those meaningful insights, so you can then understand and refine your marketing messages to get a better reaction in future, so those individuals will attend open days or events that you're managing at the university. This is all evolving around the contacts within Dynamics 365 for marketing. So I'm going to dive into the application now, and we're going to start off with the customer journey. So this is kind of a core aspect of the marketing tool, and what it allows you to do is kind of build a kind of list of tiles and the visual representation of that journey that the customer is going to go on. So you can see here there's some segments, so segmenting some user groups. We're going to touch on these in a sec. You've also got an event invitation. You can see whether they're registering for the event or not, what happens when they don't, send them a reminder email, for example. The event takes place, you can see whether they have attended or not by registering them at the event while it's taking place, and then you can automate, that interaction with the individual to send them a thank you message or a sorry you couldn't make it, for example. So this is very nice and easy to put together. You see a visual representation quite quickly, and it's triggered automatically. So this is all automation. Once you build it, it can kind of do its own thing, and you can just receive the information and understand it better. So what we're doing now is moving over to the segment section. And basically what this does is it allows you to segment groups of contacts within Dynamics 365 and then be able to market to those. So you can then add that to the customer journey on the first tile that we saw around segments, and break down a group of people to be able to market to them. So here are some segments that I've created myself, very, very easy to do. Let's go into submitted applications, and this will tie in with the admissions process, which I was talking about. Basically, if I click on one of these contacts, let's go into Kayla. That will take me away from the segment section to the contact itself. And notice in the middle section here, you've got a student status saying application in progress. So this is something that I've pre-configured. So when an application comes into the system, it automatically updates the contact associated to that application for a status of application in progress. And then that allows me to use the marketing aspect, segment those individuals, and be able to market to that group of people for a particular event or an open day in this example. So if I move back into my customer journey, this is the open day August 2020 event. We've just looked at the first section, which is a segment, so grouping some individuals that we would wish to market to. The second tile here, we're going to send them an event invitation. So this is going to be a custom event invitation that they can then click into and sign up to the event. And then once they've registered, we are then going to do some other bits and pieces. So let's dive into the event itself. So I'm clicking into this tile. I'm going to click on the open day event. And you can just quickly see how easy it is to create a kind of a custom email template to send out. So you've got some pre-defined templates in the system, but here's one I just quickly put together. Just adding some custom logos, some information, and when they click into this particular email, it will then take them to a registration page which they can sign up to the event, which is what we're going to move on to next. So now I've moved over to the individual event. I'm not going to go into too much detail about the tabs and all the information that's included on here, but I'm just going to quickly scratch the surface and just give you a run through of some of the information that this is capturing. So you've got a name of the open day event, so this is associated to that customer journey that we had. This is the ANS University Open Day. You can see locations, so you can define things like buildings, the venue constraints, so capacity, and you can define this on your own accord. You've also got like start date, end date. If I move over to agenda, you can start defining the agenda for the day. And have some information on that. So when people come to register for this event, they can see that information on the link, which I'm about to show you in a second. If I go to registration and attendance, so when this registration is live and active, should we say, you can see people that have registered successfully for the event and see some information in there as well. So once we're happy with the configuration of the event, added the information to it, we can then set the event to live. So basically on that customer journey tile, it's going to send that customized email out to the individual. They're going to click on it and it's going to take them to this web page. On the web page, they can see information about the open day. So you've got some information at the top. You can change some custom colors and logos. You've got the information here about the open day, so you can then drill into that, add lots of information about what's happening in those individual sessions. You've also got session tracks in here, so you could have guest speakers or individual teachers that you may want to set up sessions for, so people can go in here and register for that. Once they're happy, they click on register now. It will then take them through to a page where they can enter some information, and that will feed through to Dynamics 365 and flag that the individual has been registered successfully for the event that's going to take place. So coming back into Dynamics 365 now, I'm just finishing up the demonstration on the customer journey. So we've created some segments to market out to individuals. We've then sent a custom email template. Once they come to the event and they register at the event and the event has taken place, it's then going to send some automatic emails depending on whether they've been checked into that event as well. You've got some insights at the top. So this customer journey, there's some insights and some information that you can drill down into that's specific to this journey. But just to finalize the demo, I'm just going to click into the dashboard section and just show you some of the pre-configured dashboards that are in here. So if I click on the drop down, there's just some out of the box dashboards that you've got, but again, you can configure these yourself. This particular one just breaks it down via customer journey. So you've got some information about active customer journeys, on dates, segment utilization over there, and then some tiles that you can click into and filter into the information as well. So we've really just scratched the surface into what Dynamics 365 for marketing can do, but I hope that that's given you a good insight into how this tool can be used for the higher education sector. If you would like any more information on this, then please feel free to get in touch with the details on screen now. So thank you very much for watching and listening as always, and goodbye for now.